where to start? So I was just cooking eggs in the kitchen. I was like, what am I gonna watch to motivate, inspire me, blah, 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 blah. I was actually watching this other thing about like don't bleed your creativity or something like this. And then the next video from my saved watch later was about Doechii. And I'd seen a bit about her. I had listened to her Alligator album when it had kind of came out, but wasn't really grabbed by it. But I know that I was in a place of, I was in Australia and I was kind of transitioning from Australia to US, like nothing was really grabbing me. From a point of like, I was just packing up, finishing things off, working at the gym and like ready to leave everything. And just dealing with all that mental stuff. So, and I guess, right? But this video was kind of saying just her, her story, she was making videos and just, very, of course authentic with it, but just, it was at this point, I think that, and I have previously, made videos and vlogs and stuff, but I think with the different energy behind it. And that, had changed, and then because it had changed, I had stopped because I didn't like what it was turning into. And there was just so much, so much identity exploring, shifting. Should it be this way? Now it's, just in the whole world of the business of it and the target audience and the this and the that and the this and the that. And it just got exhausting. And then it was, what is for that? And just seeing, some of the videos in this video of her just as is. Like, this is me as is. As motherfucking is. I woke up, went for a walk outside for 30 minutes, 33 minutes, listening to Atomic Habits. Because, we're trying to do shit. Made breakfast because I know I should eat. I haven't had an appetite for the last few days. I haven't had the stomach to eat these eggs. I made such a big batch because I was like, let's make it accessible, and I just can't even stomach my first bite. There's so much going on, but this video really cut through and it inspired me, but I was interestingly annoyed that I was inspired by something that I wanted to do or saw and I planned to do a while back and didn't. And I was upset at myself. And I also felt like, now it's just going to be copying, and I hate that shit. I was always the one that I'm different, I'm not like da 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 da. And that's a whole rabbit hole within itself because other people are also okay, but off topic. So it was very tempting to even maybe just something, but this isn't for any of that. And that is what really deterred me and led me down a different path that I, in hindsight now, I wouldn't say regret going on, but I guess I regret holding on to for as long as I did. And I want to say I'm back, bitches. It's an understatement to say I have no idea what's going on. I don't know what I'm doing. But at the same time, I can't say that I don't, because I have, ideas and plans that have never come into fruition or actioned out. And I think that this is the story of creatives in a way. And I think that even just that concept of being a creative or saying I'm an artist or this or the other was just the hardest thing, and still is the hardest thing because it feels like I'm not meeting the criteria. And that criteria, having that within itself is deterring. My friend from Australia called me last night, and we're just, chopping up about stuff. He was checking in, and I appreciate him so much. And he said something that he was kind of questioning to, like, where things are at, and I had said, like, something I realized is I need to lower these high expectations I have, because it was putting too much pressure from a point that it was overwhelming. And, then building all these plans around it and it was just a lot. But point is, high expectations. And he was like, isn't it good to, like, have, shoot for the stars? I said, yeah, but it was killing my creativity. And then I said, and I only remember it so clearly is because he asked me to repeat it, is creativity is a balance between pressure and inspiration. And, so lowering the pressure and the expectation is terrifying, because I feel like that means I'm a failure. And, I feel like I'm inspired constantly, and particularly the points where I let things go, and then I seek the inspiration, and then the expectation comes in and it kind of shuts it down, or I attempt, and then things just die and fizzle out too quickly, and nothing's barely getting started and definitely not getting finished. And that's only reinforcing the failure feeling. So I don't really have a purpose. No, I wouldn't say no purpose, but an end point of this or whatever. But I just knew that, okay, I just had inspiration. I got inspired by Dochi's story from this video. How accurate, how this, how that, I'm not sure. But I was inspired from it nonetheless. And I respected that she was just so as is. And that's something that, is in my value system. But in its purity is terrifying. But I'm at the point where it's like, I'm already terrified. I'm already overwhelmed. I'm already scared. I'm already over it. I'm already exhausted. I'm already sad. I'm already angry. I'm already jealous. I'm already, but I still have the fire. And I'm now at the point where my mind's kind of looking more into the future of, like, and it's seeing if things don't change, and that's terrifying. So hopefully I have the balls to put this out. But it's also like this whole consistency, have this many videos, I want to say I'm a procrastinator, but, like, the execution of things seems to be a gap between my intentions and execution. And I think that, even with people, people can feel the energy of when you're passionate and committed and they're on board, but then when they don't see execution, like, then they kind of distance or don't believe in you and this, that, the other, and then having that kind of drop off can be really disheartening. But understandable, and I'm sure half the time subconscious, and I'm sure it's me, that's been me too for others. So another thing, a big thing that was in this video was that Dochi kind of stumbled across, the artist way. And that's something that I have the book and I have the physical book, the audio book, and the physical, like actual workbook that I keep restarting. It seems to be the trend. I keep starting, ditching, and never get anywhere, and I'm exhausted from redoing level 1. And you would think that I would get better at it, but the more disheartened, the harder it gets. So it just feels like I'm moving backwards too. So all I know, as it's actually hard, but you know, I know I can, without any preparation, I can be honest and I can be truthful. And I think that's where everything's at on my end right now. And it's kind of terrifying and invigorating at the same time. So I want to commit to something here. I don't know what. So I'm going to leave this because it's not coming to me. I want to make more videos like this. I think even, you know, it's the classic thing is for myself. And, you know, that's true. I think it is very grounding, and I think that it's almost the mirror, to be honest, you know. And I, you know, was doing this thing of like shorts where I'd like say like a message to my 27-year-old self. My goal was to do it for a year. I didn't make it. It was also very discouraging on my end. It just felt, it was, you know, missed a day, then a day here, and then, you know, and then I kind of had bursts, but it was just, you know, and then, you know, I had gotten in a relationship, and so like, I didn't want to do it in front of anyone, but then, you know, spend time together, and it just became, and, you know, relationships are distracting, and they're also inspiring, and it just depends. I've always been really private about my personal life, and I think there's still something in that. But it's also, there's the honesty and truth aspect, and I think that that's so much more of, it affects a big part of my life. And, you know, so what am I protecting? What am I protecting? I don't even know. So yeah, this is kind of a lot and terrifying, and to be honest, let's just do this. It's the 22nd of March. Who knows when this is coming out? Let's say by the end of March. Should be today, but let's, you know, let's step by step. I have a massage appointment today that I'm super happy about because my back has been in so much pain for so long. I think it started from just like writing and creating on my bed or hunched over. Now I finally have a desk. But I'm sitting a lot more, which I never used to before. I think that's like a big confronting part because my, like, you know, past life, when I was back in Australia, you know, I was a personal trainer, health coach. That was like #1 thing. So to be now in a lifestyle where I wouldn't say health is on the back burner, but it's these little things that I was doing and everything I was conscious of, is kind of not there. And even when I came to the US, it was impossible to maintain what I had done. So I made, you know, you adapt and make compromises, and it's just sometimes you go too much this way, too much that way, and, you know, even that changes. And just the effects of all of that. So point is, I'm very excited for this appointment today. I don't know why I mentioned it, but I did. Yeah. I want to do no catch tag phrase thing because I just feel like that's just not what I'm trying to do right now. There may be something at some point organically.